I believe that India is very talented in terms of IT talent, but creativity and entrepreneurship is something that over the last few years has been rising. So such deals will encourage more and more entrepreneurs. From a security perspective, I think it's important for startups or e-commerce companies or online web service companies to not only focus on making money, but also make sure that the security of the customers in terms of their credit card information, in terms of their personal data is secure. For example, if there are a million customers that are shopping online on Flipkart, nowadays you can save your credit card information on Flipkart. So with one click, you can actually buy something online. So that is a very good convenience service that Flipkart is providing to customers. However, what if somebody hacks into the database of Flipkart? Then all the credit card information that is stored of customers may actually get stolen. Similarly, you have all these startups that allow you to book a taxi and things like that. So your personal information like your phone number or your address is actually being stored there. So imagine somebody hacking into their database, and typically a startup, say Flipkart is already a pretty mature company, so they're a pretty large company. They may have the expertise in-house to securely store the data. But a smaller startup may not have the talent available in-house to securely handle the data. So what if, say, women also use taxis all the time? What if somebody hacks a database and get some woman's phone number or address and starts harassing them? So I think while this entrepreneurship thing is great, and I think it should continue, it is also important for entrepreneurs and startups to take the responsibility of securing the data of the customers. For example, the one-time password or the internet password facility that the RBI has mandated for every single transaction actually makes your credit cards pretty secure. For example, in the US, it is not mandated. So a lot of credit card frauds that happen for Indians are while they are traveling abroad, because there the one-time password or the internet password is not a mandatory thing. But their mandate is very different. They are focusing on investigating cyber crimes and making sure that the IPS officers and the military officers across India are trained on cybersecurity. But if there is an opportunity, I would love to work with the government and give them advice on what can be done to ensure that the rollout of Wi-Fi across Hyderabad is safe and secure. For example, whenever there's a new platform that gets released, cyber criminals want to take advantage of that platform. So 5 years ago, when mobile phones or smartphones became very popular, it moved to smartphones. Then Facebook is also a great platform. Now WhatsApp is also becoming a platform of a lot of the frauds that are taking place. So I think crime follows wherever the consumers go, and with technology, you have new software, new platforms, new versions coming out on a very regular basis. So it's very difficult for these software developers to keep updating the software from a security perspective. And even if they come out with an update, there's a lag time, only after which the users will download the latest update. And end of the day, security is a combination of technology and human issues. So even if you take care of the technology part, how do you prevent your users from doing something silly which can actually compromise their private data or their security? Day basis to improve their productivity, efficiency, to improve their personal brand and the professional relationships. So I've spent the last 1 year at Stanford University in the US, and I learned that in the US, people are already aware of a lot of the apps, tools, websites that are available that can be used to improve their professional life. But in India, people are not aware of these apps, are not aware of these simple tips and tricks, which I've highlighted in this particular book. I'd like to quickly give you an example. A lot of times when you're going for a meeting or if you go for a job interview, people like to do some background research on who they are meeting. So there's an app called Refresh that allows you just type somebody's name in that app. It will search LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and the entire internet and give you a one-page dossier or one-pager information on that person. So it will help you prepare for that meeting. You can maybe use some icebreakers to improve your relationship with that person. Another example is a lot of times in your professional career, there is something very confidential that you want to share with somebody. So if you just email it across, there is a security risk. Instead, in this book, I have talked about an app called Secure Email, which allows you to encrypt an email before you send it. And this can be done using Gmail, using Hotmail, Yahoo, or any free email service. So there are 50 such simple apps that I've discussed in this particular book. The idea is that the government has announced plans of launching smart cities across the country, making various cities, including Hyderabad, completely Wi-Fi enabled. So by just providing internet access, that's just the first step. Once you have internet access, once you're always connected, how do you use technology to maximize the benefit or to improve your professional life? Which is why the timing of this book is extremely good, because in this book, like I said, there are 50 simple things that I've talked about that allow you to make your professional life more productive, efficient, better, cooler, and faster. And this book is the second book that I've launched along with Penguin. Last year, I launched a book called Faster, 100 Ways to Improve Your Digital Life, which went on to become the number one bestseller on Amazon India. And it was in the top 10 bestseller list of Flipkart, Crossword, W.H. Smith, and all other leading bookstores across India. The third book that I'm going to launch with Penguin will be next year, which will be my first fiction book. So I've written 16 books, but all of them were on computer security or technology topics. But my next book will be a fiction novel, which will have a huge computer hacking element associated with it. So I've already, while I was at Stanford last year, I took a fiction writing course in preparation for this book, and I'm going to start working on this book in the next couple of months, and we'll release that book sometime next year. So this book highlights the positives of technology. However, there are a lot of negatives as well. Unfortunately, although India is the IT hub of the world, from a cybersecurity and cybercrime perspective, India is far lagging behind. So the government has published this report which says that there's a huge demand for ethical hackers. But if you really think about it, how many colleges in India are offering courses on cybersecurity? So without colleges offering any good courses, how will this demand for ethical hackers be fulfilled in India? There are cyber cells that have been set up by the government across the country, but if you go and talk to the police officers there, unfortunately they have not been trained adequately enough. So by just setting up cyber cells or by just announcing cyber laws, it's not going to solve the problem of cybercrime in the country. Nowadays there are so many different frauds that are happening in online. For example, after the Malaysian Airlines aircraft disappeared, there was a video that was being spread on the internet which says that the aircraft has been found. And when you play the video, out of curiosity, a lot of people will play the video. But when you play the video, it is actually a virus which will get all your contact lists and then share it with others, share the same video or the same virus with everybody on your contact list. Another common fraud is the Nigerian scams, where you get an SMS or an email or a telephone call saying that you've won, $1 billion or some big lottery. And surprisingly, people continue to fall for such tricks despite all the awareness programs that have been launched by the government. So I think it is very important that banks and also telecom providers and schools should start some kind of awareness programs where from a young age itself, people are made aware of the cybersecurity threats that exist on the internet. So on that note, once again, I'd like to thank all of you for coming today. If there are any questions from the audience, I'll be more than happy to answer them.